Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Dwarf Fortress. This is part 2 of our Let's Play. Our dwarves are mining away at our entrance here and we just found some stone. Oh no, that's clay loam. Not stone. Clay loam. But anyways, they're mining away and starting off our fortress over here. I would like to see our woodcutter cutting some trees. So I'm going to go ahead and lock the woodcutter on wood cutting. So that way they'll go ahead and chop down trees because that is very important. Yep, there we go. We see has selected that tree. Fell tree. There he goes. To follow him around. He has a cat. Mata is his deity. Yeah, the religions are very interesting in this game. You can make temples and stuff like that to certain religions, and yeah, it's really interesting. You have sort of cultures that collide, and you can sway your dwarves to kind of follow different deities and stuff like that. Okay, so it looks like these Kias are still harassing my dogs, which I do not appreciate. If we go into the chat log, you can see they got into a pretty big scrap right here. The Kia is just dive bombing the dog, and the dog is trying to attack back. Although I think the dog won here. Shakes the Kia around by the head, and the skull collapses. An artery in the head has been opened by the attack. Yep. So it always usually ends by the dog lashing onto the Kia's head and the Kia dying. So I don't think our dogs are at any risk of being damaged here. They're getting very light wounds, and yeah, it's just more of an annoyance for them. We've already killed 5 Kias. Whoa, hello. There's just a pack of dingoes hanging out over here on the edge of the map. Let's see. I want to look at this. It's a dingo. Preferences, needs. No, not really your personality. Where do I get a description? Yeah, I just want a description of what a dingo is. Let's see. I guess we could go to Google for it.
The dingo ate your baby. Your dog.
Yeah, it's like a... Dingoes are not...
The dingo ate your baby.
The dingo is a medium-sized canine that possesses a lean, hardy body adapted for speed, agility, and stamina. Ancient lineage of dog found in Australia.
Yeah. It's from Indiana or Crocodile Dundee. Looks like the dingo ate your baby.
Okay, I see. There's just a pack of them hanging out towards the edge of my fortress. I don't think they're hostile, or at least I hope they're not. Alright, now that some of this is mined out, I'm going to go ahead and place down farms here. More farms here. Actually, do we want to make it farm space or workshop space here? Let's see. If we just place workshops down, just for spacing. 1, 2. 3. I could fit 3 workshops in there. So I think I'll do that, yeah. I'll make these my workshop areas. We'll have 1 farm plot and then workshop areas. So we want a loom. And I'm actually going to make 2 of those, so that way we're set up for when we finally do come across a cave. And we'll open up a mechanic. We want 2 carpenter workshops. We want 2 crafts workshops. Thank you, honey. And we want a boyer and an ashery. We don't have the stuff that we need for an ashery just yet. What about a soap makers? Can we do a soap makers? Nope, we need buckets. Okay, stoneworker it is. Then let's build more stuff over here. Let's build 2 stills. Then we can build a farmer's workshop. The butcher we need to place in a room by itself. So I'm actually going to mine out a little room for the butchery right here. Yeah, that's perfect for the butchery. That'll be our little butcher's room, and then we block it off with doors. And that's so that way the miasma can't escape, because if we just throw it in with all of the other workshops here, we're going to have a miasma problem. All of the rotting flesh and stuff like that that gets butchered up, and all of the refuse that gets created from butchering will just kind of sit around and rot, and it's not great for your dwarves to be around that kind of stuff. Alright, let's create a wood furnace. A metalsmith. We could do a jeweler too. Probably won't be using the jeweler's workshop for a while, but whatever. Okay. This one I'm not going to make so cramped. This one I made a lot more cramped, but I'm going to leave the space on the bottom. Now, we have our military dwarves, right? So, to assign a thingy, we need a militia commander. So, I'm going to go ahead and create a militia commander, create a new squad, metal armor, and assign our soldiers. There we go. Now what if we sent them to attack the dingoes? That could either be, that could go very bad, or we could get some combat XP out of it. There's 3 of our guys versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, okay. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. It was just a thought, but maybe if we get some, like, cage traps, we can try to lure them into the cage traps. Okay, now that this area is opened up, we can place down our butcher's workshop. And now that a lot of these are done, I want to go ahead and set up some orders. So We need to create bins. Bins are good for storing items in. So like if we make a bunch of cups or something like that, we could, or crafts, we could store them in the bins. And then we also want barrels for brew. So bins and barrels, those are the two main things to start off here. We also need to make some some things to drink out of. So our dwarves get a happiness debuff if they don't have anything to drink out of. So we're gonna set up an order to make a bunch of rock mugs. I don't know if that'll ever get created. We might need a migrant wave first for that to get going. Our miners have no job. Did they really finish that staircase? They did. Okay, so I guess what we could do is just keep digging down, right? Because we need to keep digging down until we find a cavern. And until we find a cavern, we kind of just need to keep going. We're already off on high elevation to start. We start off at elevation like 40 something, 41. So, yeah, it might take a little while to find a cave. So we'll just keep mining down. Over at the mechanic shop, I'm going to go ahead and create an order on repeat to make rock mechanisms. That's going to allow us to rig up our gates and stuff like that. We can also probably create the gates. Chert. Make it out of chert. Chert. Oh, whoops. And last one. So those will be our 4 gates. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have our wood furnace up. Another job that we could set up is to make charcoal. I'm going to make this into a food stockpile over here. Food. And then we could use this for storage area, or we could make another trade depot down here. Yeah, I guess we'll make another trade depot for symmetry. I don't know if you can have 2 caravans in your fortress at the same time, but if you can, we're going to be able to accommodate that. Ooh, we've discovered an expansive cavern deep underground. Let's check it out. Ooh, hello, water, just what we needed. Oh, that's perfect. Wow, that is great. Okay, so I think what I'm going to have them do is they're going to mine down to here, and then I'm just going to have them mine out these extra spaces right here. Yeah, and then they can have like a little open area right here to fish in and use as a water source. Oh, that is so perfect. We can also dig out over here eventually and connect and search the forest, or search the cavern, sorry. Ooh, yeah, look. Oh, no. Okay, so this is flooding. Okay, so get rid of all of these. Yeah, get rid of all those jobs. So this is the level right here. So we need to mine out of this. Okay, now we need to create a zone up here for our water source, except and for fishing. Now our dwarves will gather water from down here and also fish from down here. Ooh, and we've reached summer. We've passed our first season. Oh, we discovered another cavern? Okay. Oh, wow, yeah. More expansive cavern. Okay, we're gonna have to modify our dig order. Okay, so this is the last level here. Will that work? I don't know if that'll work. We're doing a lot of sneaking in these areas, but that's okay. Okay, and the still, I'm gonna do brew from plant and put that on repeat. And then they should use our barrels and our plants to make drink. No! Why did that get canceled? Needs unrotten fermentable plants. Really? No unrotten fermentable plants. Huh, I wonder what we're gathering then. Because we should have plants. All I can see is the plump helmets that we gathered, or that we brought with us. Yeah, we need to set up an office and get a bookkeeper. So let's start planning out some of our main floor. I think I'm going to make it like right here. So we'll mine a hallway there. Let's see. Let's clean this up a little bit so that way it looks nice once it's fully mined. Get that going there. And then another one down. I like to have my main floor kind of be a little bit of a grid. That'll be like a dining area in here. Yeah, that'll be a dining area. Then we'll have some bedrooms going up this way. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, well, just getting some basic rooms set up here. And then I'm gonna mine out some rooms. Like, these ones can be like office spaces. Okay. Okay. Yeah, this last level, actually, I think we're probably going to make into a room up here. That seems like it'd be the thing that makes most sense. I'll have like a open doorway like that, and then, yeah, something like that for that last little room up there. We could even make that into a stockpile, like put some food down here and have a deeper level food stockpile. Alright, I'm gonna dig out some more of this area right here. Okay. There we go. That's the whole, like, northeastern section mined out. So I guess we'll make another hotkey here. And this will be main floor. Ooh, we have our farm set up now. Okay, so what we want to do is plump helmets. Plump helmets, plump helmets. I'm going to try to get another area going down here that we can make into an additional farm land. There we go. We'll make that into another farm plot. We need more storage areas. Let's designate out some more storage areas to be built. Okay, we're going to make this into a new workshop area because I need to get a fishery going. Now that we have access to the underground cavern, we need to put up a fishery so that way our dwarves can prepare the fish that they catch. Alright, so here's some interesting facts about Dwarf Fortress. Number one, the game has no win condition. Dwarf Fortress is an open-ended simulation with the famous motto, losing is fun. There is no traditional victory screen. Your fortress will eventually fall to invaders, starvation, madness, or catastrophic accidents. Entirely procedurally generated worlds. When you start a game, it generates an entire world complete with thousands of years of history, wars, heroes, civilizations. Yeah, that's one of the coolest parts of Dwarf Fortress is all the history that it generates. ASCII graphics became legendary. The original release used ASCII art instead of sprites. This gave the game its reputation as impenetrable to newcomers, but fans embraced the style for its complexity and charm. 4 individual body part simulation. Yes, every creature has organs, bones, tissues, and blood, all tracked separately. Injuries are extremely detailed, and a dwarf can break a rib, puncture a lung, or bleed from a finger cut. Yeah, it's pretty intricate, the actual systems that make up an individual in this game. Alcohol dependency is real. Dwarves must drink alcohol to stay happy and healthy, yes. If you run out of alcohol, dwarves will drink water reluctantly, but they will suffer from withdrawal symptoms. Cats were accidentally killing themselves? Oh, what? Cats, in earlier versions of the game, cats would walk through spilled alcohol, clean themselves, and get drunk, sometimes fatally. This became as known as the cat booze bug, and is one of the game's most famous accidental features. Has its own written languages. Dwarf Fortress generates entire languages for each culture. These influence names, symbols, and even poetry written in game. The game inspired other big titles. Games like Minecraft, RimWorld, and many other colony sims were heavily inspired by Dwarf Fortress. Marcus Notch Pearson cited it as a major influence for Minecraft. Very interesting. 2 brothers built it over decades. Tarn and Zach Adams have worked on Dwarf Fortress since 2002, almost entirely as a passion project. For many years, they survived on donations, making this one of the most remarkable indie game stories. Yeah, that's what I always tell people. It's crazy. It's amazing. This guy was living off of donations for many, many years before he put the game on Steam. 10 Steam version released in 2022. After nearly 20 years of development, the game finally launched a premium version on Steam and itch.io with a graphical tile set, a soundtrack, and quality of life features, which is what we're playing right now. Ooh, we got our first wave of migrants! Yes! A baby llama came with them. Heck yeah. Wow, 7 more people. Sorry, 8 more people. Wow, sweet. We got a mason, an armorer, a blacksmith, a gem setter, a glassmaker, a butcher, a peasant. Wow, this is awesome. Yeah. Why does this guy have no job? Huh. Maybe that only encompasses the cutting aspects of wood cutting? Alright, well, I'll put you on hauling. That'll at least give you something else to do. Alright, build workshops, farming. We need a fishery. And let's see, what else? A tannery. A kitchen. We could use another stone worker. Clothes. We'll get a dyer. We need a bucket. Yeah, buckets. Let's build another carpenter's workshop. You always need carpenter's workshops in Dwarf Fortress. Okay, we have this huge room down here. I was planning on using this as a bulk storage room. So let's create a bunch of little storage spaces. Okay, there we go. We have a bunch of storage spaces. So we can put weapons here. We can put armor here. We can put ammo here. We can put animals in there. Furniture. We'll put wood there. Stone here. Actually, finished goods. Stone. We still need more storage space. This is going to be a farm. Okay. Let's dig out another storage area over here, because we're going to need more storage. Okay, so if nothing else, our dwarfs are farming, and they're planting plum helmets. So the first thing I always do is plant plum helmets, because they are a resource that you can turn into drink. So plum helmets and dipple cups both you can turn into drink. So if nothing else, we, have that. Oh no! Our donkey has been found starved to death in the tree. How did he climb up in the tree? I guess some of our animals have taken a liking to this tree over here. Yeah, there's just roosters up there. Okay, so do we need to make a pasture? Why did that donkey just die? It could be because we don't have a pasture yet set up. Let's see. Water buffalo requires pasture. So I guess we'll set that up there. Alright, so we're going to build a wall out of shale right there. And that's going to be a little area for our animals. Then we're going to build up an area over here of also shale. Okay. This'll be shale. And we'll do chalk. Okay, so that'll be the start of our little courtyard, our fortress courtyard. Okay, I'm gonna dig out an area right behind the trade depot over here for our animals. It's gonna be a little indoor grazing place as well as somewhere where we can put our nest boxes. So we want a decent bit of space for it. Because we want vegetation, lots of vegetation to grow in here. And that should be ample amount of space. That's plenty of space to do an indoor pasture with. And then I'm also going to mine out another area where I can put hives. So that way we can get some honey going. This is going to be my area right here for hives. It's 17 by 17. Nice. Okay. Rock doors we're going to put on repeat. Those are very important, and they're going to block a lot of noise from moving within our fortress. Let's do rock bolts. Rock bolts on repeat. Those are going to be what we're trading in the beginning of the game primarily. If you get a dwarf who can masterwork bolts, it is an insanely good trading resource. Also, you can use bolts for your bows. So if you have any marks dwarfs, you know, load them up with wooden bolts. And yeah, it's just overall a really good thing to build early on. Alrighty, autumn has arrived, and with that, I'm going to go ahead and end the episode. Thank you so much for tuning in to the second part of our series on Let's Play Dwarf Fortress, and we will be returning again very soon for some more gameplay. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye!